This is a Volkswagen R32. This was Volkswagen's first version of the hot GTI. It's a GTI with a V6 in it.
This is a 2004, and I remember these cars when they first came out. I really liked them. I actually wanted one, but I hadn't driven it yet. The owner of this car has obviously modified it. As a matter of fact, the prior owner to him has done most of the modifications. The only thing that the owner has done currently is the stereo, the wheels and tires, and the tint.
He hadn't even considered getting an R32. He found this and went, that's my car. And he's loved it for the 2 or 3 years he's had it. 75% of these cars were either blue or silver. So a black one's actually kind of rare.
This one has already been slightly tuned, and by that I mean nothing major, nothing fancy. All right, cold air, obviously new speed parts everywhere, and shock tower braces on the front and the rear.
This one has 160,000 miles on it. And by and large, it's been pretty reliable.
This is a prime example of a Volkswagen going a long way. I mean, 161 on this car is not nothing. The interior does feel like it's starting to come apart a little bit. Look at the seat bolsters. And by the way, I love these seats. They are just brilliant. The first thing I noticed is that Volkswagen put these seats in, even though it interferes with the handbrake right down here. They kind of said, who cares? And man, I'm glad they did. The thing about the interior is that it feels so simple. Obviously the lineage is here, but it's simple to the point of kind of boring. It feels solid, but you can feel squeaks and rattles here and there. You know, stuff that would happen to any car. All that can be overlooked. From the outside, then it was more of the rounded, smooth, put your car in a rock tumbler kind of styling. All the edges were smoothed off. And as you could see, the progression of Golfs through the Mark 5, 6, and 7, everything has gotten sharper. The things the owner has told me in terms of performance, he said, all I've done, and most of the money that I've spent on this car has been in maintenance. That's why this car runs so well. As a matter of fact, the owner said, I don't ever want to get rid of this car. I want to keep on driving it, and therefore I'm going to keep putting maintenance into it.
Now, unfortunately, these are not light or uncomplicated cars. I mean, just nothing in it. It's a 3,400-pound car. Now, Joe is a stereo guy, so he's got 400 pounds worth of speakers in the back. So now we've got a 3,800-pound car. That's right, it's the weight of a Chevy Camaro, and you haven't even put bodies in it yet. Originally, the R32 had about 240 horsepower and about the same in torque. Now, Joe's had his tune, it's more around 250 or so of both. It has not turned it into a rocket ship. Of course, the weight hasn't helped.
The part I'm loving the most about the car so far is how cleanly this engine revs. That's what it's all about on this car. It revs so cleanly and smoothly, and it's just so light.
I have to say, this engine note makes this car awfully endearing. That in and of itself is an awful lot of fun. Not only is it the engine note that's so great, it's this naturally aspirated nature of it. It has a lot of pedal travel, but you can really refine what you want it to do.
This car scoots. Now, I don't love that it starts to get nose heavy through these corners. I don't love that, and that's by virtue of the engine being completely ahead of the front axle.
Now, these R32s are all-wheel drive, but they're all-wheel drive with the Haldex system, so it's not an all-time all-wheel drive, everybody's getting the same information. This is a front-wheel drive biased all-wheel drive system that through clutches throws power rearward.
Based on the wheel and tire package, this car kind of feels better at long sweepers, where I know it's definitely an excellent autocross car, and it feels nimbler than it really kind of should be on paper.
And this has been braced in every way possible. Strut tower brace, it's got a rear brace, it's got a bigger rear sway bar. He's done about everything he can, even subframe bushings, to try to make this car stiff. And you can tell it is just this side of too stiff for normal roads. But if you push too hard, you can feel one of these wheels just tuck up and start grinding away on the fender. There, ooh, there's some rub. Ooh, oh, yuck. Yikes, that's unfun. Okay, yeah, rubbing is bad, friends. Rubbing is bad. car needs to come back up and fight the rubbing. Oh, yuck. Okay, yeah, I know what you're thinking. So slow down. Why? Why would I do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I'm trying to decide if this is a car I would own, because if I did, I might not do quite as many mods to it.
I can see why Joe likes this. I don't love the setup, I must be honest. I think it's too low. I hate that it rubs at all, and it's borderline too stiff. But there's a personality here with this engine and with the way this feels without being turbocharged that is very unique in this world of hot hatches. That's the thing I'm liking about it the most.
Okay, so the question is, should you buy this car? If you can find a clean, good R32, I say why not? Because the dynamics are still there, the dynamics that we like and talk about so much on the podcast and recommend to you if you're looking for a GTI or something like that. The R32 is a worthy consideration. Man, is this car easy to drive.